Welcome to this week's edition of the Black Belt Newscast. I'm Cindy Fisher, publisher.
I'm Todd Prater, staff writer, reporter. Hey, how y'all?
Hey. Okay, it is Friday, October 6th. It's my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Awesome. And we get to talk about all the great big news in the Black Belt. Of course, you can see daily news every day, even at night at blackbeltnewsnetwork.com.
Yeah.
But today we are going to have our spotlight live, and let's talk about the headlines.
Let's get to it.
Top story this week. Let's talk about construction of a new school. We don't see this all that often.
Right.
But School of Discovery, which was a sixth grade school separately in Selma City Schools, is being rebuilt. They have knocked it down over the summer, and it is a $17 million plan to rebuild. They kept the auditorium that you see there and the gymnasium that's in the back, and they knocked down the classroom part. And $17 million project they are rebuilding and planning to rebuild for a fine arts magnet school for 6th through 8th grades. Those that don't want to do fine arts would go to R.B. Hudson like they do now. And the 6th graders have been put back into the K through 5, so it's elementary for this year. School of Discovery had a lot of issues with mold, and so they had to close it in 2022. Those 6th graders were sent to Knox Elementary School, and it was hit pretty badly in the tornado on January 12th. Big surprise on that day. So those students had been through a lot. They're in 7th grade now, but they moved them after Knox and the damage there. They moved them to a wing of R.B. Hudson. So 6th grade has always been separate for many years, but this plan will divide kids up a little bit into more of their interests. And, I talked to the superintendent, Zacchaeus Bird, and he was saying that they want to take advantage of the strong arts of Selma. And, and this is visual arts and all kinds of other art mediums, so that the kids can have different opportunities to learn and succeed.
The arts, music and the arts are so important to a well-rounded development, to become a well-rounded adult. So that's great to hear that they're doing that.
Well, we can speak to that because we're the creative
That's
type.
right.
We love the creatives. Awesome.
Yeah, don't make me add and subtract, but I'll create something. Yeah,
I will too. All right. So sticking with schools, but going over to Marengo County, Sweetwater has had a little change in their principals. Tell us about that, Todd.
They did have a change. The Marengo County Board of Education had an emergency call session Friday the 29th. And they accepted the resignation of Dr. Gary Gibson. A number of parents and grandparents, they said, even got together and had a bunch of complaints against him. So he resigned. And currently the coach is going to fill in while he is gone, and until they can find somebody else to be the principal. So that's kind of a developing situation. We'll have to see who becomes the permanent principal in the next few months. But apparently Dr. Gibson had the same situation happen at Demopolis Middle School about 2021. Parents had complaints, and he resigned from there as well. So that's
education is not easy these days.
Yeah.
I don't
I tell you what's really positive. It's a negative story in a lot of ways. What's positive is the parents got involved and made a change, because they didn't think that what was going on was good for their kids. So I think that's a positive way we need to look at it, too.
All right. Let's go into something really creepy.
No, was that fun or what?
It was. So we went to a ghost hunt in Selma Saturday night because we were part of the world's largest ghost hunt. Yeah. And tell us about the group that actually spearheaded this.
The Midnight Girls and Boys Paranormal Research Team from Panama City, Florida. They've come up here for the past 3 years. They went to St. James Hotel the first year, the Heritage Village last year, and this year we got to go to the old King Memorial Hospital, Dunn Nursing Home, which is a creepy lot. It was a lot more active during the afternoon when we were kind of scoping it out, but there was still a lot of interesting and creepy activity during the evening. Now, tell them a little bit. This is actually video that you shot.
Yes, that's the psych ward. See the padded walls? Yes, and that's a hoodie there on the floor. So that room was actually pretty friendly to live in for right now, but there's a lot of openings in the walls and the doors. Yeah. It's been closed for a good long while, and they say it's very haunted. It was a nursing home many years. So many great stories out of there, and it was an exciting night, kind of fun to be a part of. They went live on social media so that people from all over the world could watch, and meanwhile others that are live are in Switzerland and Austria and all these different countries, and there's Selma with a live crew with their equipment looking for ghosts, and
we look like we knew what we were doing.
Well, okay, sort of. I wish I'd been there during the day.
Is the one of the main points of the whole ghost hunt around the world is to bring attention to historic sites that need to be preserved, need to be saved, and of course that particular building, unfortunately, it got struck fairly hard during the tornado on the 12th of January. But there's still a lot of it that is salvageable, and we hope that maybe we can start drumming up some interest, because that's another very important piece of Selma's history that we want to try to preserve and, make something out of it that people can enjoy and use.
That's a conference room right there. Yeah, it actually has been a spot for some devil worshippers. So you see a lot of graffiti throughout the building that have found their way in there as well. But I found that a lot of it looked like, if you see the video, looks like you're in Stranger Things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it looks like you're in the Upside Down or whatever they called it. When I look back at the video, it's like, ugh. But anyway, that was a lot of fun, and I was glad to be a part of it. Let's go over to Demopolis.
In Demopolis, the healthcare high school, Cindy.
Yes, they have been pushing to get this healthcare high school, which would be a residential school. This is where they would build. It's an old abandoned warehouse. It's been many things over the years in Demopolis, the heart of Demopolis. It's right behind Whitfield Hospital, Regional Hospital. So the plan was to build dormitories at this spot, which is where the high schoolers would live, and they would work and take classes there and at Whitfield Regional Hospital in order to become healthcare workers. And we have such a shortage in the Black Belt, but everywhere, of healthcare workers. I actually was at a meeting last week where one of the governor's policy advisors was talking about how the governor, Kay Ivey, she is from Wilcox County, is still very strong on wanting to bring this to Demopolis and the Black Belt, even though there has been a setback in the plans because the state withheld the money to set this up in the budget. It's supposed to cost about $60 million to do total, but what they refused to set aside the $30 million to get it started, and instead only allocated $500,000. And that's for a feasibility study. So that's being done now. I know for a fact that Demopolis leaders met with those the feasibility study folks this week as they are continuing to conduct this study in order to decide and give a report in November on whether, or maybe January, sometime in the next 2 or 3 months, to say, yay or nay on that location. But from what we hear, other state lawmakers want Dothan and other communities to be considered. But the Black Belt is a great place to put this. There's already similar high schools. Birmingham has the Fine Arts School. Mobile has Math and Science School. Huntsville has an Aeronautics School. It seems like it's only fair that something come to the middle of the state, which would be a great place to put it in Demopolis. And Demopolis is such a great town and doing a lot of growth on their own. And anyway, there is discussion of it, and it seems to be on the positive side.
And those of us that live in the Black Belt need to really push and let our leaders know that we do want to see this development in this area, because, you know, they're trying to take away the highway idea. They're trying to the Black Belt is being overlooked way too much, and there's a lot of
here
to
speak up. You're right. We need to speak
ready to work. Yeah, I mean, we just need to stand up for ourselves and say, "Come on now, folks."
There may not be as many of us, but if you think about it from one end to the other, there is definitely enough of us to be squeaky wheels and get that breeze.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's go to something fun that came through the Black Belt this week.
Oh, wow.
Great Alabama 650.
Yeah, that is so much fun. It started at Weiss Lake up in northeast Alabama, up near Gadsden and Annis, actually above there. And it's gone 650 miles down the Scenic River trail from Weiss Lake all the way down the Coosa River. It passed through into the Black Belt. I think it was Tuesday.
What was yesterday? Yes, I saw this. This is right behind me. My windows, I show you. I live in Dallas County on the river, and this is the Alabama River. And I saw the little guy from far away. Of course, he looked little. I was like, "What is that?" It was the tiny little paddles. And I ended up getting a good little video of him coming through. So it was really exciting. And I know that they went all the way through part of the Black Belt down to on the way to Mobile.
Yeah, and they're actually, I was just going to look up at AL 650. You can see an interactive map that will show you exactly where all the different paddlers are at this moment. And I just called it up. Let's see. We've got Trey Reeves is in the lead, and he's just about 65 miles out of Mobile. And Sally O'Donnell is second right now, not far behind, 73 miles out of Mobile. So, and Sally O'Donnell is a past winner. So it's exciting to watch, and you can watch them go down the river, and it'd be fun. I would love to do something like that, but it is an endurance race, and you really got to be in good shape to do something like that.
I'm going to try to get that to switch for me. Music at the Mill.
Oh, this is going to be a fun event. It's out at Keenan's Mill on Summerfield Road. And, you know, the Keenan's Mill has been there since the mid-1800s. And there's so much history in this area. People would go out there and spend time having picnics and having fun. And that's what Music at the Mill is going to be about. It's going to be October 14th, next Saturday, a week from this coming Saturday. It's going to start at 10, go to 2. There's going to be music. We're looking to get a food truck out. We're going to have, family-oriented fun, play in the woods, go play in the creek, see how the mill works. And it's going to be a fun day for everybody to get together and kind of reintroduce the mill to everyone. It is available for people to rent from the Selma Dallas Historical Society, the Historical Preservation Society. You can rent it for a wedding or a party or whatever. And if you need to find out more information about what is going on at the mill and what the Historical Society is doing, you can go to historicselma.org, and all the information is there. But it's going to be a fun day with a lot of great music. Philip Morgan put together a good little group that is going to play, and it's all local people in the band that grew up in Selma. So it's another way to celebrate Selma's history, and with the band and the events and the activities, it's going to be fun.
Well, I had some technical difficulties, and I don't think I was able to show you the video, but it is going to be a great event. There it is! Yay!
Yeah. Modern technology.
Yeah, well, this is part of living in the Black Belt. We all know it.
Yeah, but it's going to be a lot of fun on the 14th, and I hope everybody comes out and brings a picnic lunch and comes and hangs out with us.
And hey, yep, this is what live TV looks like, y'all.
You look kind of like Max Headroom for a second there.
Oh no, and we know we're aging ourselves by knowing what that is.
I know exactly.
Okay.
But you know, it is modern technology.
One of the things that we always like to say at the end of our newscast is to send you your
We want to say, send your news and your information to
news to
blackmountainewsnetwork.com.
us. We want to know what's going on in your community. Send it to news.
Right. Video, news tips, and of course,
we also want to say thank you to our sponsors,
Randall Miller, and thank Miller Funeral Home and everything he does. So thank him so much for making this possible. And of course, you can follow us at
yes, and also make sure. Yep, follow us, subscribe to us.
You're coming back. BlackMountainNewsNetwork.com, Facebook, Instagram,
I
YouTube.
know, it's terrible.
Yeah. That's all right. Hey, live. That's what happens when you're live. You know, it's live, not memorized. That'll date people too.
Yep. All right. We will see you guys next week. Hopefully the Wi-Fi will be better.
See ya.